Okay, we're back in phase 2. Now what I like to do is I like to take our fresh juice and add it to the blender. What I usually make for the week is anywhere from 2 to 3 cups. And so we have about 3 cups right now. And what I'll do is I'll add it to our blender. And next, what I like to do is add a banana for the potassium. Now once again, if you have blood sugar issues or trying to lose weight, you can go ahead and skip the banana. Now next, to ensure that your juice is nutritionally dense, what I like to do is like to add Dr. Scholl's Superfood Powder. This has an excellent source of superfoods like spirulina and chlorella, and a whole host of other superfoods that are either organic or wildly harvested. So on my website, you can click on the product icon to get a full details of the ingredients and also see how to get it direct from the manufacturer. So what I'll do is I'll add, according to the manufacturer's directions, 2 tablespoons per cup. So we have 3 cups here. So I'll add a total of 3 rounded tablespoons. I said 3, meant 6. Alright, so like I said, that's 2 tablespoons per cup. We have 3 cups here, so we added 6, a total of 6 rounded tablespoons. Next, as an option, what I also like to add is Dr. Berg's Wheatgrass Superfood Raw Juice Powder. Now, according to Dr. Berg, this is unlike any other juice powder, because what they do is they don't take the wheatgrass and grind it up and make it into a powder. What they do is they take the wheatgrass, juice it, and then take that concentrated juice and make that into a powder. So, in other words, this stuff is really highly concentrated. For example, according to the information, 1 teaspoon of this juice powder is equal to 13 ounces of fresh wheatgrass juice. That's highly concentrated. Also has, in addition, a high concentration of trace minerals that are very important. So on the website, once again, you can click on to this product video information to get the full details of how they process this product and how to get it direct from the manufacturer. So what we'll add is, it comes with a dispenser, like a little scooper, and we'll add 1 scooper, which is equal to about a teaspoon per cup. We have 3 cups here, so we'll add 3 teaspoons, or using the little scooper, 3 scoopers. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'll go ahead and mix this up, and then our next step, which is the easiest and quickest, I'll show you not only how to use this product if you don't have a juicer, but I'll also show you what to do with our ice cubes, because after we blend it up, let me show you what we're going to do next. Here is now here is what we want to do with our blended juice. the secret to making this whole process very simple and easy and being able to get fresh juice on a daily basis is, the secret is ice trays. We'll take our blended juice and add it to ice trays. And it usually winds up making about 3 to 4 ice trays. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get this prepared. We'll pop it in the freezer and we'll let it freeze up. And like I said, next I'll show you what to do with our juiced ice cubes in a moment. We'll be back. Okay, we're back. We're back for our final step. Now this step is going to be the easiest and the simplest. Matter of fact, this is the step that I do on a daily basis. So all of what we've done is the prep work that you've chosen a convenient day to do. But throughout the rest of the week, this is the step that we're going to be applying on a daily basis. But before I go over that, let me just share some final thoughts with you. And that is, health is very important. Today we're talking about good nutrition. But remember, that's only one aspect of health and wellness. As I mentioned before, on my website, I feature 7 keys to health and wellness. And for example, there are other keys there that if you apply, it's almost like synergy. The more keys and steps that you apply, the better off you'll be. Like for example, spiritual health. That's key number 7. There's where you can get some benefits not only in this life, but also beyond the grave. So when you get a chance, make sure you check out that lesson that I have on that section. So let's continue. And finally, we have our juiced ice cubes. And what I suggest is, once they're frozen, I take them out and I put them in a freezer bag. And this is a bag, I'll keep them in the freezer for the duration of the week, so that way I have easy access to the juice cubes. So that way I'll be able to just grab and go, as I'll show you in a moment. So, as I said, I take, once they're frozen, take them out of the ice tray. Let's see. And I will put them in this freezer bag. And this is, like I said, where I keep them and I store them throughout the week. Okay, so like I said, I pretty much just place them, and I will go ahead and put them in a freezer bag. Like so. Okay. So, now, what do I do with these juice cubes? Well, in the morning, what I'll do is I'll take about 6 to 10, depending on the size of the juice cubes and the size of your jar that you have. And I pretty much like to use a reusable or recyclable, say like this is from a sauce jar. And I just like to reuse it because the mouth of it is very wide. So I'll put my juice cubes in there. And then what I'll do is fill it up, say halfway, with some clean water. I have filtered water that I highly recommend instead of using tap water or even bottled water. And this is the secret to making this whole process delicious. This is your instant kale shake. Now don't get concerned, because if you've ever juiced kale, you know it's very bitter. But even though this powder has kale in it, so it increases the nutritional value, well, it makes your juice taste like chocolate milk. And so that's why I really use this to not only kick up the nutritional density, but also make this whole process delicious. And according to the manufacturer, because there's also a vegetarian form of protein, pea protein, they speak about how this can even be used as a meal replacement. So I go ahead and I take this scooper, comes with a little scooper, and I put 1 scoop in. I give it a little good shake. Now at this point, what I will do is either fill it up with water and just let it melt and drink this throughout the morning, or you can add some milk, and the milk makes it a little bit more creamier. I like to use almond milk, but whatever milk that you choose, whether it be soy milk, rice milk, regular milk, almond milk, you choose, you decide. My only suggestion, if it is cow's milk, just make sure that it's hormone free. So I'm going to go ahead for now and just add a little bit more water, and I will shake this up. And you see, that's all that I do each morning. Go to the freezer, grab, add my fluids, and go. Now in the morning I'll just either sit this on the counter and let it melt a little, or have a little sips along the way, even as I'm heading off to work. So that's the whole process in a nutshell. Now, as promised, what are you going to do if you don't have a juicer, or say you may run out of cubes and you don't get to do the whole initial process? Well, I'm going to give you 3 suggestions to kick up the nutritional density in your daily diet, even without a juicer. So 1, here's where these very handy products come into play. Once again, I'm going to add some clean water, filtered water. This is option number 1. Once again, I will add 1 scoop of the instant kale shake, and which is pretty much about a rounded tablespoon. And then also the wheatgrass comes with its, like I had mentioned before, its own scooper, which is about approximately a teaspoon. I will add this. Now at this point, once again, we put it in a recyclable jar, glass jar, and I'll give this a shake. Okay? And then at this point, I like to add half and half. Half water, and half, like I said, I like almond milk, whatever milk you want to choose. Or you can do the whole thing with water. Milk gives it a little bit more creamier taste, but even when you just use straight water, it has a nice flavor as well. So that's option number 1, if you don't have a juicer or you want to supplement this whole process. Now option number 2 that I suggest, as far as when it comes to kicking up the nutritional density in your diet daily, is using Dr. Schultz Superfood Plus. You can add this powder just about on anything. Pasta, any type of meal that you have. You know, a lot of times you may not have a large quantity of vegetables in your meal, or even when you go out to a restaurant. Well, adding this to your meal kicks up the nutritional density and the amount of vegetables that you have on a daily basis. Doesn't have a strong taste, but the important thing is giving yourself that nutrition that your body needs. So that's option number 2. Now, another thought that I oftentimes share with folks is I will take in the morning some like Greek yogurt or yogurt. I particularly like Trader Joe's version of Greek yogurt with honey. I find their brand is not as thick as most Greek yogurts. It's not as thin as regular yogurt, but has a little bit more consistency, but not as thick as most Greek yogurts that I've had. So it's like an in-between, so I really like this. So what I'll do is I have some yogurt. In the morning, I'll throw in here some bananas and walnuts. But just before adding those, I'll add some of my kale shake. So once again, we're kicking up the nutritional density, adding some kale. And like I said, you don't taste the kale at all. I'll also add some of my wheatgrass, like a teaspoon. And then what I'll do is I'll take a spoon and I'll give it a little mix. And so the powder kind of combines with the yogurt into one, as well as the wheatgrass. Okay, so a couple of swirls. And at this point, I like to add my bananas. And I'll add my walnuts. Okay, and this becomes a nice little breakfast treat for in the morning. And so those would be my 3 suggestions, and I'm sure you can come up with a host more, but those would be some easy tips of how to be able to kick up the nutritional density even though you don't have a juicer, and be able to give your body the nutrition that it so desperately needs. Thanks for watching.